Heartbreaking revelation. Maurice Benard shares emotional update on Tristan Rogers' battle with terminal illness. In the glittering, yet tumultuous world of daytime television, where drama unfolds both on and off the screen, fans of ABC's General Hospital are reeling from a devastating real-life twist. Maurice Benard, the beloved actor who has portrayed the complex mob boss Sonny Corinthos for decades, recently opened up about a deeply personal and heartbreaking situation involving his longtime co-star, Tristan Rogers, known for his iconic role as the suave super-spy Robert Scorpio. Rogers has been diagnosed with end-stage liver cancer, a revelation that has sent shockwaves through the soap opera community. The story began to unfold quietly behind the scenes, but Benard, ever the candid and empathetic figure, chose to share it publicly during a tearful interview on his popular podcast, State of Mind. "I've known Tristan for years," Benard said, his voice cracking with emotion. "He's not just a colleague, he's family. Seeing him like this, it's shattering." The disclosure came amid swirling rumors about Rogers' absence from recent episodes, with fans speculating everything from a planned storyline hiatus to personal health issues. But the truth, as Benard revealed, is far more somber. It all started a few months ago when Rogers, at 78, began experiencing unexplained fatigue and abdominal pain during filming. Port Charles, the fictional town where General Hospital is set, has seen its share of medical crises. Think dramatic transplants, mysterious comas, and miracle recoveries. But this time, the drama hit too close to home. Rogers, who first joined the show in 1980 and has reprised his role multiple times, confided in a few close cast members about his symptoms. Benard, drawing from his own well-documented struggles with bipolar disorder, was one of the first to notice something was off. "Tristan's always been the life of the set," Benard recalled. "That sharp wit, that Australian charm could light up a room. But lately, he seemed diminished." The diagnosis came like a thunderbolt. After a battery of tests, doctors confirmed end-stage liver cancer, a brutal prognosis with slim chances of survival. The cancer had spread aggressively, leaving limited treatment options. Rogers, ever the fighter much like his on-screen alter ego Robert Scorpio, has battled everything from international villains to personal demons, opted for palliative care, focusing on quality of life rather than aggressive interventions. "He's facing this with the same grit he brings to Robert," Benard shared. "But it's stage 4. The odds, they're not good." The emotional peak of Benard's revelation came when he described his recent hospital visit. "Picture this, the sterile hum of machines in a dimly lit room at a Los Angeles medical center, far removed from the bustling sets of General Hospital." Benard arrived with a bouquet of flowers and a stack of old scripts, hoping to reminisce about better days. But what he encountered left him undone. Tristan was there, hooked up to all these tubes, gasping for breath, Benard said, pausing as tears welled up. "He looked so fragile, not like the powerhouse I remember. I sat by his bed, holding his hand, and we talked about the glory days. Those glory days are the stuff of soap legend." Rogers burst onto the General Hospital scene in the 1980s as Robert Scorpio, the dashing WSB agent entangled in epic love stories with characters like Holly Sutton and Anna Devane. His chemistry with co-stars like Finola Hughes. Anna created some of the show's most memorable arcs. Think high-stakes adventures in exotic locales, heart-wrenching betrayals, and triumphant returns from the dead. Fans still rave about the 1981 Ice Princess storyline, where Robert's heroism saved Port Charles from catastrophe. "He was untouchable back then," Benard reflected, his voice thick with nostalgia. "Tristan brought this electric energy. Robert Scorpio wasn't just a character, he was an icon. And now, seeing him thoughtop barely hanging on, it's like watching a legend fade." Benard admitted he broke down during the visit, the weight of memories crashing over him. He recalled a specific moment from the set in the 90s when Rogers mentored younger actors, including a then-rising Benard. "Tristan pulled me aside one day and said, 'Kid, acting's about truth. Dig deep.' That advice shaped me." As Benard wept, Rogers managed a weak smile, whispering, "We've had a hell of a run, mate." The scene, as Benard described it, could have been lifted straight from a General Hospital script, poignant, raw, and utterly human. The impact on the show has been immediate and profound. Producers have scrambled to adjust storylines, with Robert Scorpio's current arc involving a tense reunion with daughter Robin, and ongoing intrigue with the Casadinasno hanging in limbo. Insiders whisper that the writers might incorporate elements of Rogers' real-life battle into the narrative, perhaps giving Robert a heroic send-off that honors his legacy. "We're all rooting for a miracle," one cast member told us anonymously. "But if this is the end, we want to make it epic." Fans have flooded social media with tributes, using hashtags like Pray for Tristan and Robert Scorpiofer. Messages pour in from around the world, recounting how Rogers' portrayal inspired them through tough times. One fan wrote, "Robert taught me resilience. Tristan, you're our real hero." Benard, who has long advocated for mental health awareness, urged supporters to cherish their loved ones. "Life's short," he said. "Tell them you care. Tristan knows we do." As the sun sets over Port Charles in the episodes ahead, the real-world shadow looms large. Will Rogers defy the odds, much like Robert Scorpio has time and again? Or will this be a farewell that leaves an indelible mark on General Hospital's history? For now, the cast and crew rally round their friend, turning grief into a testament to enduring bonds. Benard's vulnerability in sharing this story reminds us that behind the glamour, these stars are human, flawed, fierce, and forever connected. In the words of Robert Scorpio himself from a classic episode, "I've stared down death before. This time, it's personal. Stay tuned, fans, the drama is just beginning." Next, we will learn about the chilling possibility of a devastating loss, looming over one of Port Charles' newest alliances. In the ever-twisting world of General Hospital, whispers from behind the scenes are pointing toward a shocking twist that could claim a life in the midst of high-stakes intrigue. Fans are buzzing with speculation as Jack Brennan, the enigmatic WSB operative, dispatches Jocelyn Jacks and her unexpected partner, Vaughn, on what he describes as a straightforward reconnaissance operation to the sun-drenched shores of Dalmatia. This coastal gem, known for its ancient ruins and hidden coves, might seem like an idyllic backdrop, but in the soap's universe, it's primed to become a hotbed of peril. Brennan, with his trademark confidence, brushes off any doubts, particularly those voiced by the sharp-eyed Anna Devane, who fears the mission could spiral into catastrophe. Drawing from her own storied history with covert operations, Anna warns of the unpredictable nature of such assignments, where alliances can shatter and secrets explode without warning. Yet Brennan remains steadfast, envisioning a smooth return for the duo, unscathed and victorious. However, emerging spoilers paint a far grimmer picture, suggesting that Brennan's optimism might be misplaced, and the mission's simplicity could be nothing more than a deceptive facade, hiding deadly undercurrents. Delving deeper into the potential fallout, it's impossible to ignore the vulnerability of Vaughn in this narrative arc. As a relatively fresh face in Port Charles, introduced specifically to propel this espionage-laden plot forward, Vaughn embodies the classic archetype of the expendable a la Carmine, yet ultimately replaceable in the grand scheme of soap opera drama. Imagine the tension building at the luxurious Five Poppies Resort, a fictional haven nestled along Dalmatia's rugged coastline, where opulent villas overlook turquoise waters. But beneath the surface, shadowy figures lurk with sinister agendas. Spoilers tease that this locale will erupt in chaos, potentially turning Vaughn into an unforeseen victim. Picture a heart-pounding scenario where Vaughn, driven by a budding sense of duty and affection, throws himself into harm's way to shield Jocelyn from imminent danger, perhaps during a clandestine midnight rendezvous gone awry, or amidst a high-speed chase through narrow, cobblestone streets. Vaughn could make the ultimate sacrifice, his final act echoing the heroic tragedies that have defined General Hospital's most memorable exits. This invented element adds layers to his character, portraying him not just as a sidekick, but as a man with hidden depths, maybe a backstory involving a lost family or a past betrayal that fuels his selflessness. Jocelyn Jacks, no stranger to heartbreak, has already endured the agonizing losses of Oscar Nero Quartermain and Dex Heller, each departure leaving indelible scars on her resilient spirit. Oscar's battle with illness and Dex's mysterious demise have tested her emotional fortitude, shaping her into a young woman who approaches relationships with a mix of hope and guarded caution. Now, as she embarks on this undercover adventure with Vaughn, posing as blissful newlyweds to infiltrate the resort's elite circles, their fox romance begins to blur into something genuine. Inventing new details, we can envision stolen moments under starry Dalmatian skies, where whispered conversations reveal Vaughn's quirky sense of humor perhaps. He's an avid collector of rare seashells, symbolizing his transient liffeer Jocelyn sharing tales of her family's turbulent history, fostering a bond that feels authentic amid the deception. This connection, while nascent, could intensify rapidly in the pressure cooker of danger, making any potential tragedy all the more poignant. If Vaughn meets a fatal end, it wouldn't just be another casualty. It would serve as a stark awakening for Jocelyn, illuminating the perilous reality of aligning with the WSB. The organization, with its web of international intrigue and moral ambiguities, demands sacrifices that extend far beyond the battlefield, often claiming personal lives in the process. Furthermore, such a loss could deepen Jocelyn's sense of romantic misfortune, casting a shadow over her future entanglements. Having watched Oscar fade away and Dex vanish under suspicious circumstances, adding Vaughn to that list might make her question if she's destined for solitude, a cursed figure in the realm of love. This theme resonates with General Hospital's tradition of exploring emotional resilience, where characters like Jocelyn evolve through adversity. Inventing a fresh angle, perhaps this event triggers Jocelyn to seek solace in unexpected place Mabe, confiding in her mother, Carly, who draws parallels to her own stormy romantic past, or even turning to a journal filled with unsent letters to her lost loves, a therapeutic ritual that highlights her inner strength. It could propel her character Roscoe in her quest for growth, pushing her to confront the dangers she's embracing and reassess her path forward. Even if Vaughn dodges disaster in Dalmatia, the overarching WSB turmoil promises more threats on the horizon, potentially sealing his fate in a later chapter. Created expressly for this storyline, Vaughn's role feels tailor-made for a dramatic send-off, much like temporary characters who ignite plots before bowing out spectacularly. Think of explosive confrontations or betrayals that tie into broader arcs, ensuring his exit leaves a lasting impact. From a fan perspective, while Vaughn brings a certain roguish appeal, Jocelyn deserves a partner with sizzling chemistry and better age aligmensamine, like a reformed bad boy from her past or a new rival with shared ambitions. Inventing possibilities, envision a future love interest who's a tech-savvy investigator, contrasting Vaughn's old-school spy tactics, or perhaps a childhood friend returning with matured charm, offering stability amid the chaos. Tying into the larger tapestry, this Dalmatian escapade intersects with the intensifying saga involving Britt Westburn and Jason Morgan, where old grudges and hidden alliances promise a cascade of hazardous encounters. Britt's cunning maneuvers and Jason's stoic resolve could inadvertently draw Vaughn and Jocelyn into a web of crossfire, amplifying the stakes. For instance, a newly imagined subplot might involve a stolen artifact at the Five Poppies Resort, linked to Jason's shadowy dealings, forcing Vaughn to choose between mission success and personal survival. Next, we will learn about the turbulent storms brewing among Port Charles' most beloved pairs, with heartbreak and unexpected shifts on the horizon. In the dramatic landscape of General Hospital, fresh spoilers are stirring up excitement and dread, hinting at a wave of relational chaos that could shatter several key couples in Port Charles. As tensions simmer and secrets unravel, the spotlight falls on the once solid duo of Brooke Lynn Quartermain and Harrison Chase, whose path forward appears increasingly fraught with obstacles. Fans have watched their love story blossom through trials, from family feuds to personal ambitions. But now, underlying cracks are beginning to show, inventing a fresh layer to this unfolding drama. Imagine a quiet evening at the Quartermain mansion where soft candlelight flickers, casting long shadows that mirror the doubts creeping into their bond-outs, fueled by unfulfilled dreams and lingering resentments. This relational mayhem isn't isolated. It's part of a broader tapestry where other pairings, like those involving Willow Tate and her tangled web, could intersect in surprising ways, potentially leading to explosive breakups that redefine alliances in the town. Diving into the heart of Brooke Lynn and Chase's current struggles, the couple recently delved back into the sensitive topic of building a family, a conversation that exposed raw emotions and differing priorities. They had been eagerly pursuing adoption, filling out paperwork and envisioning nursery designs, when a bombshell revelation upended everything. Joe Palmieri, the talented young violinist who's captured hearts in Port Charles, turned out to be the child Brooke Lynn had reluctantly given up for adoption. During her tumultuous teenage years, this discovery, unearthed through a dusty old letter hidden in a family heirloom, has left Brooke Lynn grappling with guilt and longing. Joe, with his piercing gaze and musical prowess that echoes his mother's hidden talents, harbors deep-seated blame toward her for abandoning him, creating an emotional chasm that's proven difficult to bridge. Despite heartfelt attempts at reconciliation for shared walks in the park, where Brooke Lynn shares stories of her own youthful Mistakaskio's walls remain high, leaving her feeling like an outsider in her own son's life. Chase, ever the steadfast detective with a heart of gold, has stood by her side, offering quiet encouragement and late-night pep talks. But whispers from spoilers suggest his well of patience might be drying up. Strained by the constant deferral of their shared dreams, the tension escalated when Chase, in a moment of hopeful vulnerability, broached the idea of resuming their adoption journey together, perhaps picturing a cozy home filled with the laughter of a child they could raise from infancy. Brooke Lynn, however, swiftly rebuffed the suggestion, insisting they pause until Joe fully accepts her into his world, a stance that caught Chase off guard, though he masked his disappointment with a supportive smile, inventing new details to heighten the drama. Envision this exchange happening during a romantic dinner at a seaside bistro, where the crashing waves outside symbolize the turbulent undercurrents in their relationship. Chase might fiddle with his napkin, biting back words about how time is slipping away, while Brooke Lynn's eyes well with tears, torn between her past regrets and future hopes. His decision to conceal his true frustrations hints at deeper unrest, possibly building toward a confrontation where suppressed emotions boil over, forcing them to confront whether their visions for the future truly align. Compounding this strain, Chase's path crossed with his former flame, Willow Tate, in a chance encounter that rekindled sparks of nostalgia for viewers. Willow's world has been upended recently, shattered by the shocking betrayal of Drew Kane, who entangled himself romantically with her own mother, Nina Reeves, in a scandal that sent shockwaves through Port Charles' social circles. Adding to her woes, her ex-husband, Michael Corinthos, has stubbornly denied her visitation rights to their children, citing concerns over her emotional stability amid the Faluta decision that leaves Willow isolated and yearning for the family unit she once cherished. Chase, stepping in as a compassionate listener, offered sage advice during their heartfelt chat, perhaps over coffee at Kelly's Diner, where the aroma of fresh pastries mingles with the weight of their shared histories. This interaction served as a poignant reminder of the strong connection they once shared as a couple, a relationship marked by passionate highs and challenging lows, including moments of jealousy and reconciliation that tested their bond. Inventing an additional element, picture Willow confiding in Chase about a cherished photo album of their past adventures, like a spontaneous road trip to a nearby lake, evoking smiles and a subtle undercurrent of what-ifs that fans can't ignore. What makes this reunion particularly intriguing is the common ground Chase and Willow now share, both harboring deep desires to nurture and raise children, yet finding themselves thwarted by their respective exes. Chase's longing for fatherhood burns brightly, inspired perhaps by memories of his own childhood with his brother Finn, while Willow dreams of storytime evenings and playground outings with her little ones. Their ex-partners Brooke Lynn's focus on mending ties with Joe, and Michael's rigid stance create parallel roadblocks, fostering a sense of camaraderie that could evolve into something more. Spoilers predict that when Chase inevitably raises the adoption topic again with Brooke Lynn, she'll reinforce her hesitation, perhaps citing the emotional toll of juggling her son's rejection with the demands of a new child, a position that underscores her internal conflict. Meanwhile, Chase's desperation to embrace parenthood grows, especially as he approaches an age where biological clocks tick louder, amplified by invented scenes like him volunteering at a local orphanage, holding infants, and feeling the pull of unfulfilled paternal instincts. On the flip side, Brooke Lynn already has a son in Joe, standing right before her, a living embodiment of her past choices and potential future Joyceif. Only they can forge a genuine connection. This irony isn't lost on fans, who speculate that Chase might reach a breaking point, questioning if their relationship can withstand such fundamental differences. Turning to the audience, GH enthusiasts, what are your thoughts? Could Chase find a more harmonious match in Willow, where their mutual aspiration might swiftly form an instant family? Imagine them blending their livescays, stepping in as a supportive figure for Willow's kids, teaching them detective games, while Willow brings her nurturing warmth to Chase's world, creating a seamless unit born from shared heartaches. As these storylines converge, General Hospital promises more twists, with potential breakups paving the way for fresh romances that could redefine happiness in Port Charles. Stick with us for all the latest spoilers and insights into these captivating developments.